One, 2.
Check me out right here, yo.
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine together. Better now than never, business before pleasure. P. Diddy and the fam, who you know do it better. Yeah, right, no matter what, we airtight. So when you hear something, make sure you hear it right. Don't make an ass out of yourself by assuming our music keeps you moving. Whether you're true, you know that I'm 2 levels above you, baby. Hug me, baby, I'ma make you love me, baby. Talking crazy ain't gonna get you nothing but choke. And that jealousy is only gonna leave you broke. So the only thing left now is God for these cats. And babe, you know you're too hard for these cats. I'ma win cause I'm too smart for these cats. While they making up facts, you making up plaques.
In the commission, you ask for permission to hit him. He don't like me, him and wild wife, he was with him. You heard of us, the murderers, real shady. Been on the low lately, the feds hate me. The sun is, they say my killing's too blatant. You hesitating, I'm in your mama crib waiting. Duct taping, your fam, destiny lays in my hands. That lays in my waist. Francis, M to the SH phenomenal. Gun rest under your vest by the abdominal. Rhyme a few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I kick a few flows so I can pimp a few hoes. Excellence is my presence. Never tense, never hesitate. Leave a nigga bit real quick, real sick. Raw nights I perform like Mike. Anyone, Tyson, Jordan, Jackson, action, pack guns, ridiculous. And I'm quick to bust if my ends you touch. Kids a girl you touch. In this world I clutch. Q Auto, Matos. Used to call me Fatso. Now you call me Castro. My rap flows militant. Y'all faggots ain't killing shit. Oops, Cristal keep spilling shit. You overdid it, Holmes. You in the danger zone. You shouldn't be alone. Hold hands and say it like me. The most shady. Frankie baby. Fantastic. Graphic. Trying to make dough like Jurassic. Hard dick with the spark kids who start shit. See me, only me. The underboss of this Holocaust. Truly yours, Frank Wright.
Come on, man. Come on, some Biggie on a Monday. Let's go.
Check it. I make $1 million every 6 months, and y'all hating my game, saying my name. They call me the E wrong thing.
I might can do without this one. Let's find a. We gotta find another banger. Not that. Definitely not that. Don't worry, I'll find one. Don't you worry about that. No.
Back and forth I flow. So let me see.
Damn. Come on, man. What are we doing? I'm gonna have to take matters into my whole own hands. Hold on a second.
We frequent, and now my niggas riding. Slip clips in, dip in, and do that shit, smoking Buddha shit. See when they say sick medicine whispers in, the taste is bitter. Blowing motherfuckers into smithers. Triple X liquor with nothing but curses and our verses. Obscene, unfit for major mainstream magazines. Lace you up in kerosene and see that ass ignited. I mean, we got the V8 for your gangster lean. I see war machines and street marines. Dirty neatness in the hands of ghetto fiends. I'm copping tween. The hard life and ghetto dreams. Got schemes with black berets and getaways like OJ. The rip gut, he got the cannibalistic.
All right. Here we go.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
I thank the Lord for my many blessings. Though I'm stressing, keep a vest for protection. From the barrel of a Smith & Wesson. And all my niggas in the pen, here we go again. Ain't nothing separating us but my Mac 10. Born in the ghetto as a hustler. Hold up, straight soldier. Bucking at them busters. No matter how you try, niggas never die. We just retaliate with hate, then we multiply. See me striker down the block, King Kong. Just mobbing like a motherfucker, living like I don't grown up. Ain't no stopping at the
If they were playing tomorrow, I'd take Indiana to beat Texas A&M.
crime pace. Let the cops put their lights on. Chase me nigga zigzagging through the freeway. Race me nigga in a high speed chase with the law. The realest motherfucker that you ever saw. Say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody gotta die.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody got
You don't have the guts to be what you want to be.
Say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody
need people like me.
Everybody got to die. Everybody say goodbye to the bad guy.
So you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad
Ain't no
guy.
escape from a deadly fate. And every day there's a million black bodies put away. I'm starting to lose hope. It seems everybody's on dope. Mama told me to leave cause she was broke. Sometimes I choke on the endo, creeping out the window. Alone on my own, I'm a criminal. Got no love from the household. I'm out cold on the street screaming motherfucker peace. I got nothing to lose. But something to prove. What do I do? Little thug life, niggas stay true. I wonder when they kill me, is there heaven for a real G? Lord, forgive me if you feel me. Cause all my life I was dirt broke. With no hope, little skinny motherfucker wanting dope. I hated cutting suckers with my razor blade. But every day it's a struggle to get major pay. Say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody gotta die.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody gotta die.
You don't have the guts to be what you want to be.
Say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody
need
gotta
people
die.
like me.
Everybody gotta die. Everybody say goodbye to the bad guy.
So you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy.
The only way to change me is maybe blow my brains out. Stuck in the middle of the game to get the pain out. Pray to my God every day, but he don't listen. The poverty bothers me. But mama's working wonders in the kitchen. Listen, knocking in with crying in the bedroom. Praying for money, will never get what she be dead. Am I wrong for wishing I was somewhere else at 13? Can't feed myself. Can I blame daddy cause he left me? Wish he would've hugged me too much like him. So my mama don't love me on my own at an early age. I'm getting paid and I'm strapped so I never be afraid. What did I go astray? I'm hanging in the back streets running with G's and dope fiends where they jack me. Can't turn back. My eyes on the prize. I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody gotta die.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Everybody say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody gotta
You don't have the guts to be what you want to be.
say goodbye to the bad guy. Everybody
need
gotta
people
die.
like me.
Everybody gotta die. Everybody say goodbye to the bad guy.
So you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy. So say goodnight to the bad guy.
Yeah, you know what the fuck this is?
Go on.
You in the mix with my homeboy, DJ Mimo.
The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
All right, good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday, and welcome to the Lunch Money Show with me and Pigskin Pete. What's up, Pete?
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday.
Week 9 already of the 2025 college football season. Halloween less than 2 weeks away. The playoff rankings come out 2 weeks from tomorrow. So that's a whole new set of rankings for people to complain about. So y'all should be pretty excited for that. You'll have 3 different rankings to complain about every week then. Well, 4 if you count mine. But yeah, so you have that to look forward to.
The latest one that everyone's complaining about is LSU still being ranked.
Yeah, I kind of figured that would be the one. But unless they tell me who they're putting in there, the most pointless thing to say is such and such team shouldn't be ranked. That's half a sentence. You need to tell me the other half of the sentence. Tell me who. Now, Houston is like 6-1. They got to be next in line to be ranked. I would assume whoever doesn't want somebody ranked would replace them with Houston. But then you're going to run into the same problem you run in with LSU. Who had they played? Who had they beat?
Yeah, LSU's best win, I think, is Clemson, and that's sad.
Yeah, they beat, who else did they beat? Arkansas or something? Or South Carolina? Or South Carolina, Florida, Clemson. Yeah, all bad teams.
Right.
And then they lost to Ole Miss and Vandy. Vabdu? You think Vandy can keep it going? They play Missouri this week, or is that one of your picks? Maybe we'll wait. We'll wait and pull the schedule up in a minute. But I think Vandy's pretty good, man. I don't think it's some kind of like good story or fluke thing or whatever. Like they're a pretty good team, and that Pavia is fun to watch. Anyway, welcome to the Lunch Money Show. 5 weeks in a row for your boy Lou. Come on, man. Come on. 5 winning weeks in a row. Things were looking very dire for me. Saturday at 3:30, I was down $600. By the time I went to bed Saturday night, I was up $105. I hit 2 big bets on the Florida State Stanford game. I had Stanford plus, I think, 14.5, and I had Stanford money line at plus 469. So I bet $50 Stanford money line. That paid $250. And then I won a couple of NFL bets yesterday too, and ended the week up $345, which is, I think, the biggest winning week I've had, even in this 5-week winning streak that I'm on. But I mean, hell, after being down $600 at 3:30 on Saturday, I would have been happy to walk away with $1. To be honest with you, it ended up being a pretty good week. How'd you do, Pete?
I did good too. I think I cashed out 172 this morning.
There we go.
And boy, I wish I would have got in on that. Did you do? Was that a live bet that you did with the Vanderbilt? I'm not the Vanderbilt. Stanford.
Yeah, it was. I forgot. I was. You know, those 10:30 games are tricky because I don't know how you are. I have a handful of games that I'll bet early, like today or tomorrow. But then when Saturday rolls around, I'm betting games like. So like for the noon games, like 11:30, I'll start 11:30, 11:45. I'll pick a couple of more noon games and bet on them. And then same thing for the 3:30 games, like 3:15, I'll pick a couple 3:30 games, bet on them. Same thing at 7:30. But the 10:30 game is tricky because I'm not paying attention. I'm watching the end of the 7:30 games, and I actually missed my opportunity to bet the Stanford-Florida State game before it started. So I said, shit, I'm going to have to live bet it. And it was no score. It was like 1 minute into the game when I live bet it. And it was Stanford plus 469 and Stanford plus 14.5. And I took both of them.
Yeah, we saw how terrible Florida State was pretty quickly in that game. So that was a pretty smart bet. I bet that game early in the week, 18 points. I was like, I mean, come on. Yeah. Florida State should not be favored against 18 points against anybody, even Stanford.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, today, the Florida State athletic director, we're fully committed to Mike Norvell until the end of the season.
Yeah, that's 2 months away for them.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like he's not going to get fired during the season, but unless they win out, he's probably gone at the end of the year, don't you think?
Oh, I would think so, but apparently what's his buyout? 50 million?
50 or 60 million, yeah.
So apparently the buyout drops dramatically. I don't know if this is, I haven't looked at his contract. I'm just going off of what a Florida State people are telling me, is that after 7 or 8, I think, of next year is when it drops. Like there's a huge chunk taken off of that. So
okay.
I don't know if they're going to wait that long. I mean, that means they would have to commit to him for at least one. And then if he has a decent season next year through the first 8 games, then they'll be under the pressure to keep him for another year after that.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think that anybody would, especially Florida State, would pay somebody $60 million to go away. But after watching what happened to James Franklin, I don't put it past anybody at this point. But also, Florida State's not Penn State. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, plus with all the big coaching hires going around now, it thins out the coaching hiring pool. So,
did you? Hugh Freeze had a press conference today, and he was asked about what he thought about the Florida State athletic director giving basically like a statement of confidence to Mike Norvell or whatever through the end of the year. Did you hear that? Did you hear what he? Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I think I know what you're talking about.
And Hugh Freeze goes, "Yeah, I wish our athletic director would do that."
Yeah. Who was the one? I can't. There's so many coaches being asked about these coaching positions. I'm trying to remember which coach it was today that was like, it was. Anyway, I can't remember who it was. He was like, it was. Anyway, he goes. He said, well, it was Kalen DeBoer. That's what I'm thinking of. He was like, well, after week 1, people were ready to fire me, and now I'm just happy I have a job or something. Now people are talking about me getting another job somewhere else.
It is. We are retarded as fans. I mean, there's no. I mean, go back and just listen to what even Florida. I mean, even listen to what even Alabama fans were saying about Alabama after week 1. Like we are completely retarded as fans. Like it's like this guy's the greatest ever, or he's trash. Like depending on what he did last weekend. You know what I'm saying? We're all that way.
Yeah.
It's hard not to fall in that. it's hard not to fall in that trap. I mean, whatever happened with Alabama week 1 against Florida State is what it is. Alabama is one of the best teams in the country today. And one of the things that we got to wrap our heads around as college football fans is the 12-team playoff has drastically changed how we need to perceive teams as they move through the season. There was a year, I think it was 2007 maybe, Georgia lost 2 games in September. The season was over at that. We were under the BCS system. 2 losses, that was it. I mean, you were going to the Outback Bowl. That was it. Georgia was the best team in the country the last 6 weeks of the season. They beat everybody they played by 40. It's one of the best runs Georgia's ever had. Didn't matter. In today's college football, that's what you want to do. You look at Ohio State last year. They lose on the road to Oregon. Damn near got beat at home by Nebraska. Got pushed around on the lines of scrimmage. They were lucky to escape that game. There was a 1-possession game. Nebraska had a chance to win it at the end. They blew it. Then they lose to Michigan at the end of the year. Had they lost that Nebraska game, that would have been Ohio State's 3rd loss. They wouldn't even have made the playoffs. Instead, they get into the playoffs and click at the right time and run through the playoffs almost easily. And that's the way you have to look at things now. So, yeah, Alabama played like shit in week 1 against Florida State, and we all threw dirt on their grave and crowned Florida State as a playoff team. And now, look, 7 weeks later, Florida State's getting ready to fire their coach, and Alabama's one of the best teams in the country.
It's not. I mean, it's a bigger scale, but it's not much different than when you watch just a regular game, not a season, but just one game, and then one team gets down 14-0 in the first half, and you're like, oh well, they suck. Yeah, they're never going to win this game, and of course they come back and win it. Yeah. And a good example of this right now, this is forecasting for me, is what happened to Miami last week. Miami loses to Louisville. And now everybody's, well, Miami sucks. Carson Beck sucks. They're not going to win anything. They won't even win the ACC. They won't make the playoffs now. They won't. Yeah. They're garbage. Louisville's a pretty good team. Yeah. I know people don't want to give any credit to any teams in the ACC for being good, but Louisville's a pretty good team, and losing to Louisville is not the worst thing ever. And plus, they don't control their own destiny in the ACC. That is true. But I still think Miami's one of the better teams in the country. I haven't changed my mind on Miami being a great team, or at least a top 10 team, just because they lost to Louisville.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree. And you probably see the same thing in your comment section when you're live streaming games that I see. Whatever team scores first, it's a million comments. Oh, game over. Yeah, that's it. They're going to win 40-0 now. Why? Because they scored on. There's 12 minutes to go in the first quarter, dude. Like the other team hasn't even had the ball yet. But yeah, it's just we overreact about everything. Everybody does. The Georgia Ole Miss game on Saturday. Obviously, the defense was bad the whole time, so I was complaining about that. But there was a point in the first half where I was like, I don't know about this Gunnar Stockton. I mean, it's just I don't know about him. And then by the time the game was over, he was 26 of 31 for 289 yards and 5 total touchdowns. And in the first quarter, I was like, I don't know about this Gunnar Stockton guy. I mean, we get so wrapped up in what's going on, like last play, last game, what happened yesterday. It's a bigger picture world in college football now. And it's funny, too, because I'm pretty good in the offseason at reminding myself of that. Like, I tell myself all the time, and I say it on here all the time, like, my goal as a Georgia fan is for Georgia to go 10-2. I hope they win a couple of big games. If they get to the SEC championship, great. If they get there, I obviously hope they win it. But, 10-2 is the goal, because I'm trying to be playing in the postseason, But then the season starts, and Ole Miss gets a first down, and I'm like, God damn it. It's, worst fucking team ever. Fuck this team. I'm just, it's so funny. I don't like the psychology behind fan emotion and fan behavior is just, it's fascinating.
It is. I think I told you that, I make these videos every week about Clemson after the game, and I've had so many Georgia fans in my comments section because I've been complaining about Clemson's offense and their philosophy and the play calling, the whole thing, everything about the offense. And there's been so many Georgia fans in my comment section on every video going, well, if you're ready to get rid of Garrett Riley, you can have Mike Bobo. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I would love to have Mike Bobo over Garrett Riley right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. There's about
Send him my way.
how many teams are there? 140. There's about 130 teams that would take Mike Bobo tomorrow as offensive.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? The Mike Bobo haters are in hiding, busy deleting comments and shit from the past. But yeah, it is wild. Some sociologist at a university or something somewhere ought to do some kind of fan behavior like study or something. It's mind blowing. But anyway, it's time to move forward now to week 9. And I'm not gonna lie, me and Pete have both looked through the slate of games. Pete, I don't know if you came to the same conclusion I did or not. I try to be overly positive about games every week. Like, even if people are like, this week ain't that good, or this week is not as good as last, I try to be overly positive. For one thing, it's better for my channel if people are excited about the games. So from a selfish reason. But boy, it's kind of a disappointing slate of games this week to me. There's just not a lot of interesting games or marquee matchups out there this week. There's no good games at all during the week. I've been streaming these Friday games because they've been good games every Friday. There's really nothing on Friday. And even the Saturday slate is a little underwhelming.
Yeah, what you're really looking for in a week like this is who's the highly ranked team that's going to lose to an unranked team type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There's not any. I mean, the Missouri and Vanderbilt game is obviously very intriguing. And I think that has a lot of high stakes in the SEC and nationally as well. But other than that, I mean, it's a little underwhelming.
Yeah. All right. It's time to talk about some of the picks we like for this coming up weekend. Bet sure to go wrong. Here we go, Pete. We'll put you up first today.
All right. The first game I really like, Pittsburgh versus NC State. NC State's just straight garbage, so there is that. Pittsburgh's favored by 6.5, or at least it was whenever I wrote this down. Pittsburgh is 5-2. They're on a heater right now. So I don't care if this game is. Where is the game played? I didn't even look. I didn't even look or care. Where it doesn't matter if it's in NC State or not. Do you see it?
I'm looking and I can't find. I probably must have scrolled past it.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's in NC State or Pittsburgh. I think it's in NC State, but
there it is. Yeah.
Anything under 10 points, I love Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this game by a lot.
Yeah, it's at Pitt, so that should make you like your pick even more.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. This wasn't one of the games I had circled, but looking at it now, I like Pitt 2 under a touchdown. They have been good lately. And other than NC State beating Virginia, which I have to admit, I didn't watch that game. It was early in the year, and I don't really think anybody had very much expectation for either NC State or Virginia, so I didn't watch the game. Of course, now Virginia's 6-1 or whatever they are, and you go to look up which game they lost, and it's NC State, and it's the weird thing where it's a non-con deal. But I think Pitt's the better team, so I kind of
Bama fan in the comment section says both teams are trash. Well, Pittsburgh's not trash. They made a quarterback change, I think, around week 4, and he's a true freshman quarterback, and this guy is good. He's the reason that they're 5-2 right now, really. With him, and I mean, he's not the only reason, but there's not a lot of teams in the ACC that would look forward to playing Pittsburgh this week or any week.
He sounds kind of like what we're talking about, where fans think either somebody's capable of winning a natty or they're trash.
Yeah.
Like, is Pittsburgh winning a natty? No, but they've been a pretty good team the last couple of weeks. They've played good the last couple of weeks.
I think they're on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got to find a third game on the fly here. I'm not going to lie. I scrolled through these games 3 or 4 times a day, and I had usually on Mondays when I scroll through, I have a hard time narrowing it down to 3. Today I had a hard time finding 3 that I really liked. But let's start with somebody we've already talked about here, and that's Vabdu and my boy Diego Poverty. Missouri on the road at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt coming off a big win at home last week against LSU. Missouri with a close win on the road at Auburn. Both teams are 6-1. This is a huge game for SEC standings and, of course, future or potential playoff implications as well. Vandy's favored at home by 2.5. I'm going to be honest. I'm a believer in Vandy, and they've got a shot here. If you look at if you go by the 10-2 rule from last year, and again, we don't know if that's going to hold true again or not. It's going to depend what a lot of other people's records are, as far as 10-2 definitely getting in the SEC versus 9-3 definitely not getting in. But you look at their remaining schedule. If they win this weekend against Missouri, I think Vandy at Texas, I mean, they nearly beat them last year. And we've all watched Vandy play a couple of times this year. We've all watched Texas play a couple of times this year. Now, I'm not saying Vandy's going to roll the ball out on the field and beat Texas automatically. But I think most people would say that Vandy has looked better most weeks this year than Texas has. They've got a good shot there. If they get by that, it's Auburn and Kentucky at home. And then that would set up potentially a massive, maybe the biggest Vanderbilt-Tennessee game of all time.
Yeah.
At the end of the year. Tennessee's already got 2 losses. Even if Vandy could potentially lose one of these next 4 and enter this Tennessee game at 9-2. Tennessee might be 9-2 as well, although I think it's less likely for Tennessee. They play at Kentucky, home against Oklahoma and Mexico State, at Florida, and then, of course, that Vanderbilt game. But anyway, to get back to the Vanderbilt-Missouri game, I'm just not picking against Vandy. Maybe if they were playing in a difficult road environment, like maybe the following week, depending on how they look against Missouri, maybe something changes and you lean Texas there. But there's things about Diego Poverty that I wish he didn't do, to grabbing your nuts thing at Alabama and some of the stuff that he said. And I think it's a bad future professional decision for him to be sort of following around Johnny Manziel or whatever that weird relationship they have is. But when it comes to what happens on the field on Saturday for the 60 minutes of the game, the guy is unbelievable to watch. He's not as good as Cam Newton, but he has that same quality where you feel like, kind of like Mike Vick at Virginia Tech 25 years ago.
Uh-huh.
You just feel like anytime he's out there, he has a chance to do something. He'll keep Vandy in the game. If they're down 6 at the end and Vandy's got the ball, you just know he's going to drive them down the field and score. He, of course, runs around and can do it with his legs. None of his stats, you look at his stats, they don't really, he's not going to be probably in the top 10 of any passing stats or anything like that, but that's not what his value is. He just does something to that Vanderbilt offense. And when he's on, he's one of the funnest players in college football to watch. And I really like their chances here at home against Missouri. I wasn't that impressed with Missouri this past week against Auburn. And I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Vandy beats them by a couple of scores. So in that one, I'm going to take Vandy and lay the 2.5. I mean, it's under a field goal, so if you think Vandy's going to win, you might as well lay the 2.5. I like Vanderbilt minus 2.5.
Yeah, the home team usually gets 3 points for being at home automatically. This tells you that Vegas likes Missouri just as much as they like Vanderbilt because it's only 2.5 points. I've been bought into Missouri for 3 or 4 weeks now. And I'm bought into Vanderbilt now. I'm kind of with you. I would not bet against Vanderbilt in this situation, which is why I'm probably not going to bet the game, at least not on the point spread. If I were to bet it, I'd probably bet the over 52.5. These are 2 of the better quarterbacks in the SEC right here.
Yeah.
But I really do like Missouri, man. I think they're a dangerous team. But all the hype right now around Vanderbilt being at home, like you said, Pavia's got that sort of killer instinct that you can't really coach somebody. They either have it or they don't. So I think Vanderbilt will probably win the game. But I do really like Missouri here. And I like the over 52.5 more than anything. I think this game will go into the 60s.
Oh, high scoring, huh?
High scoring.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
All right, this is easy money, everybody. Break out your calculators and your wallets at the same time, all right?
Here we go.
Here it is. Alabama, minus 12. Or now it's 11.5 now. It was minus 12. 11.5 is even better. At South Carolina. South Carolina is in a bad way right now. They're almost as bad as Clemson, if not worse, which is saying something, because Clemson's pretty fucking bad. Alabama's on a heater. They might be the best team in the country. I don't know. I mean, but they're definitely one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country. They've got Heisman favorite at quarterback. Their defense is playing good. Their run game's good. I can't really find a weakness on this team. If there's an Alabama fan in here, maybe your punter sucks. I don't know, but I can't really find a weakness on this team, and I really can't find anything strong about South Carolina right now. Lenora Sellers is on the verge of being in a full body cast any week now, and I don't want to see that. I like Lenora Sellers. I'm just saying this guy is getting absolutely murdered every game, and this is going to be one of the tougher defensive fronts that he's gone up against all year. I don't know that South Carolina can score 10 points in this game. So the over-under is 47.5. Probably 35 of those or more will be Alabama. I think Alabama blows them out. So that's why I'm taking Alabama all day, minus 11.5.
Yeah, this is disappointing because in the preseason, this looked like potentially a huge game here for both teams. And like you mentioned, South Carolina's been a massive disappointment this year. 3-4, 1-4 in the SEC, really struggling on both sides of the ball. And Lenora Sellers has not had anywhere near the year that most people expected him to have. Alabama has struggled to run the ball this year to the point where a lot of times they don't even try. They've become a pass-first team. I think they throw the ball 60 or 65% of the time. Ty Simpson has 1 interception all year.
That's insane.
And this isn't a thing where they're dinking and dunking the ball or you know, only throwing the ball 40% of the time. They're throwing it over half the time. 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's playing at a ridiculous level. I think if they handed the Heisman out tomorrow, it'd be hard not to give it to Ty Simpson. Alabama has beat 4 straight ranked teams in a row without a bye week. 2 of them were on the road at Georgia and at Missouri. And then they beat Vanderbilt and who was the other one? Tennessee at home. Yeah. It's been impressive. I kind of keep waiting on that part of it to catch up with them. Just like the having no breaks, just one out big game after big game after big game, and they've kind of made it through that stretch now. And you know, they get a little bit of a break, as weird as that sounds, here against South Carolina. It is on the road. Would I be shocked if South Carolina pulled out some kind of miracle performance and kept it within a couple of touchdowns? I guess not. But what it feels like, once Alabama gets up by a score or two, South Carolina's more likely to kind of just roll over at that point. Just nothing has gone right for them. You got South Carolina fans running around wanting Shane Beamer fired, which, for the record, I think is ridiculous. Right. I don't know who South Carolina thinks they're going to get it. The guy was 9-3 last year within an eyelash of the college football playoff at South Carolina. And no offense to South Carolina, but you're not Florida. Like, you're not getting Lane Kiffin. I don't know. Like, if you fire, I don't know who you think you're getting.
John Gruden's available.
I'm begging an SEC team to hire John Gruden because it'll bury him. It'll be North Carolina in the SEC. The guy's got no idea what he's doing when it comes to college football, Gruden. But so I looked at this today and I thought about it. I saw it at 12 like you did, and I said, surely Alabama can win this game by 2 touchdowns. There's no way I'm betting on South Carolina. I may end up betting Bama later in the week. I'm going to hold off for right now, just because of the stretch of games in a row Bama has played. I'm worried that it could catch up with them. So I'm not betting it now. I'll probably get talked into betting it by the weekend, but I do like Alabama to win the game. I just, like you said, I think we can still point and laugh at them for losing to Florida State. It's one of the worst losses of any ranked team in the country. It's a terrible, terrible loss. But that doesn't matter now. I mean, it matters in that it's going to be, you know, that's why they're ranked 4th and not 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, you know, because they have that loss. But, boy, they look really good over the last month, and I just don't see any way South Carolina beats them, even though they are at home. So,
Sellers has taken an absolute beating this season. That they have a terrible offensive line at South Carolina. He's been running for his life every game against teams with way worse defenses in Alabama. And he's consistently getting – South Carolina's consistently getting worse on a weekly basis. So I just don't – I mean, unless it's just some complete fluke, and plus all the reasons that you mentioned about what's going on at South Carolina, about Shane Beamer being under pressure, about being on the hot seat, and the team may have checked out by now. Their season is effectively over in the SEC. and nationally. So I feel like all the flags point towards an absolute drubbing in Columbia this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of a drubbing, this team got drubbed last week. I'm playing the rebound this week because I do think they are a good team. Tennessee on the road at Kentucky, and Tennessee's favored by 9.5. I know some teams. Kentucky has played a couple of teams close at home this year. I know that. Tennessee has struggled on the road at times under Heupel. I know that. They got handled last week at Bama. I know that. I think this is a good rebound spot here for Tennessee. Under 10 points at Tennessee, with Tennessee minus 9.5. Now, I know Tennessee doesn't have a win over Southern Cal. But all this talk about Notre Dame and, oh, yeah, they got 2 losses, but they lost to 2 top 5 teams. Well, who did Tennessee lose to? Georgia by 3 and Bama by 17. Now, Notre Dame's losses were closer. But I don't know that having Tennessee at 17 is – I think that's too low for Tennessee. I think they should be higher even with those 2 losses. I do think they're a good team. Their defense struggles against the pass, but Kentucky has a hard time doing that against anybody not named Texas. Now that quarterback goalie or whatever his name is for Kentucky, he lit Texas up through the air. And if he does that again against Tennessee, they could keep it close. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Tennessee rebounds and beats Kentucky by a couple of touchdowns. I like Tennessee minus 9.5.
Yeah, I agree with you there. The funny thing is Tennessee being ranked 17. So Georgia Tech's ranked 7. They're undefeated. Mm-hmm. So I get it. If Tennessee and Georgia Tech played this week, who would be favored in that game?
Yeah, I'm people that do power ratings. I don't know. Like I know Josh Payton puts one out. ESPN FPI, that's a power rating. I'm pretty sure Tennessee would be ahead of Georgia Tech in all of those.
I think he'll be favored by more than a touchdown.
Yeah,
against Georgia Tech.
Too.
Yeah.
Now I also think that a ranking should not be a power rating. Like losses have to matter. So like I'm not arguing.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm not arguing for Tennessee to be ranked 6th because Georgia's 5th and Tennessee only lost to them by 3. I get it. Losses have to matter. But 17 seems a little too low to me compared to where Notre Dame is with the same record. Notre Dame also beat Arkansas by 40 at Arkansas, and Tennessee only beat them by 6 or whatever it was in overtime. So I get it. I don't think Tennessee should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame, but a lot of talking points about Notre Dame's losses and who they lost to. I don't see or hear Tennessee getting that same benefit of the doubt. Maybe they should a little, but eventually they got to beat somebody good though, and so far they haven't, and they won't have a chance to beat anybody good this weekend either. I mean, what is Tennessee's best win? Is Mississippi State? I mean that's not great.
Well, that brings up the point that if you don't, I mean, you can only play who's in front of you, right? So they play Kentucky this week. Kentucky's not very good. One of the lower teams in the SEC. I mean, what is it? Kentucky and Arkansas, the 2 worst teams in the SEC, probably.
Yeah.
But not only do you have to beat them, if Tennessee's not going to win the SEC and get an automatic bid into the playoffs, which they probably won't, then you have to find a way to impress the playoff committee to get your ranking higher, right? So what you're supposed to do is go out here and beat Kentucky by 4 touchdowns. That's what they should do. And that should be their motivation, and I think they have a chance to do that. I'm with you. I think they'll cover the spread here.
Yeah. All right. Good. We agree. That means bet Kentucky plus the points if you're listening. All right. What you got up next?
All right. Texas A&M at LSU. A&M undefeated. LSU. Their best win being Clemson with 2 losses on their record. A&M favored by 2.5 on the road at Death Valley. I got to tell you,
at night,
at night. LSU's got no offense, man. None. I mean, none. Zip, zilch, zero. A&M is solid on both sides of the ball. Yes, go. Look, if this game were in A&M, they'd be favored by over a touchdown, in my opinion. But it's not. It's in Baton Rouge. I still like A&M to win this. I love this one actually. Less than a touchdown. Give me A&M. I think they keep it rolling. I really like A&M. They're kind of flying under the radar as they might be one of the only undefeated teams that is flying under the radar. You don't hear a lot of talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the AP poll's giving them a lot of credit here. Got them third, but when you
they got them third.
When you listen to people like us, fans, comment sections, whatever, it's it's a fluke. They'll lose 4 games. They're not losing 4 of their last 5 games.
No.
Stop it. They're not going 8-4 again. They're suffering from the same thing Indiana was suffering from before Indiana went on the road and beat Oregon. It's just you're so unused to seeing Texas A&M be good that when they are, it makes it hard to it's hard to believe it, right? We didn't want to believe it about Indiana even after last year. Then they go on the road and smack Oregon around.
Right.
And now people are like, oh, okay, yeah, Indiana might be legitimately good. And unfortunately for Texas A&M, when they go to Death Valley this week and smack LSU around, and I think that's what will happen, I still don't think they're going to get the fan respect they deserve because like you mentioned earlier in the show, there's people that don't even think LSU should be ranked. So it's going to be like, well, yeah, they beat LSU, but LSU's got no offense. They're not any good. So now, as far as what could they win to change people's mind, I mean, look at their next they just beat Arkansas on the road. Now they play LSU on the road. Then they play Missouri on the road. And then they play Texas on the road at the end of the season. I mean, if they win 3 of these 4 road games, they're going to be 11-1 because their other 2 games are South Carolina and Samford. So it's probably going to be Texas A&M and Bama in the SEC championship game.
Yeah, they'll be in Atlanta if they win 11 games for sure.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how all the weird tiebreakers work. If they go 11-1, they'll have 1 conference loss, and Georgia will have 1 conference loss, but they will not have played each other. So I don't know how the tiebreakers work with all that. And then you got Vandy. What if Vandy has 1 loss? Vandy doesn't play Texas A&M or Georgia. So you could have 3 1-loss teams, Vandy, Texas A&M, and Georgia, who didn't play each other. I've got no idea how far down the list of tiebreakers you'd have to go to figure out which of those 3 teams gets to play Bama in Atlanta if Bama's got no conference loss, because Bama's got a loss, but it's a non-con loss. So right now it's Bama and Texas A&M at the top of the SEC standings with no conference losses. But you could end up with 3 or 4 SEC teams at the end of the year with 1 conference loss. So if that happens, I have no idea how they decide the tiebreaker. But Marcel Reed is a baller. I mean, I don't know if people haven't watched Texas A&M. I'm not sure. But plus, they've been without their best running back the last couple of weeks. They're getting him back now, Le'Veon Moss. I mean, he's really good. They're a problem on offense. Now they survived one this week on the road at Arkansas. Arkansas, I think, has lost 3 games this year where they had over 500 yards of offense.
Wow.
There can't have ever been a team well, I can't want to say ever, but that's got to be super rare to lose 3 games in a season where you had over 500 yards of offense and you lost all of them. But I think Texas A&M is a legit playoff team at this point. When you look at their record now and their remaining schedule, even if they lose 2, they're going to be 10-2 and probably going to, how do you keep them out? So, I don't like it because, they're weird or whatever, but they're probably going to the playoffs.
Also, I mean, the non-football reason for this, we can't overlook the fact that LSU, their season is on the line right now. They've got 2 losses.
Yeah.
Their season is on the line, and Brian Kelly's their head coach. Yeah. And so this is their biggest game right now of the year far.
Yeah, can't trust Brian Kelly in that spot.
And you can't trust him to save the season. Absolutely not.
Yeah. What do you think about the if you'd asked me at the beginning of the season, I said, there's no way Brian Kelly's getting fired. Buyout too big, whatever. It's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I don't know now. If they...
Oh, either.
We've looked at some other schedules, but if you look at LSU, so, okay, they've got 2 losses already.
They'd have to beat... But the 3 biggest games they have left are A&M, Oklahoma, and Alabama.
Yeah.
So they're going to lose at least 2 of those, probably 3, and I think the other one is a lower level,
Arkansas.
A lower classification.
Yeah. So they're home against Texas A&M, on the road at Bama, home against Arkansas, and on the road at Oklahoma. So if they lose this one to Texas A&M, that's their 3rd loss.
They're probably going 6-6 then.
Well, 7-5. I mean, they probably beat Arkansas.
7-5 or 6-6, yeah.
If they go 7-5, they might fire Brian. I mean, I just didn't think schools were going to pay these $50 and $60 million buyouts anymore because of rev share. And they're all crying about money. We need money. We can't pay the player. We can't afford it. We're broke. Well, you must not be that broke for paying $50 and $60 million buyout. So I don't know. Maybe it's possible, I guess, if they go 7-5, that they sayonara Brian Kelly. I don't know.
I think, and again, I have no idea about the booster situation at LSU. I have zero inside information, so I'm just going off of, But I feel like the people in Baton Rouge are tired of Brian Kelly all around.
Oh, the fans have had it, yeah, for
not
sure.
just from a football perspective either. Just from I think people just don't like him.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened at Notre Dame, even though he won a bunch of games there. The fans hate him.
Yeah.
And they got money. I mean, so after what happened at Penn State, nothing would surprise me.
All right, I'm gonna. My first two picks were favorites, so I'm gonna force myself to find an underdog. Now, last week, all my picks were underdogs. By the way, this week I like a lot of the favorites, but I'm gonna force myself to look for an underdog here. Well, we hadn't talked about this one. Ole Miss on the road at Oklahoma. Speaking of one-loss teams, each of these teams still just with one loss. I'm taking Oklahoma minus 4.5. Lane Kiffin's got to at least be talking to Florida. He has to at least be considering it. He's been asked by now, I'm sure. I don't. And they got beat up a little bit physically by Georgia this past week. Now I know Oklahoma's got no offense. I get that, but Ole Miss doesn't have a defense, so I'm gonna take Oklahoma here. I can't believe I'm not betting this game. I couldn't find a third game already this week that I wanted to bet. So, but I'm going to pick it because we do 3. I'm going to take. I can't believe I'm taking. Am I really gonna? No, I'm going to take Ole Miss. I can't trust Oklahoma's offense. This was almost. This is why I'm going back and forth now. This was almost my third game today when I text you, and I couldn't make up. I think Ole Miss is going to win the game. Forget the 4.5. But I get worried about these coaches. See, I think that's what happened in Nebraska on Friday at Minnesota. I think Matt Rule was on the phone with Penn State all week instead of preparing to beat Minnesota. Then they go to Minnesota. They don't even score a touchdown. They get blown out by Minnesota 24-6. I'm worried about that with Ole Miss, but I just don't like Oklahoma offensively.
What about defensively, though? So this is a chess. This is a Brent Venables defense versus a Lane Kiffin offense chess match. Who wins that chess match?
I'm going with Lane Train. I think I'm taking Ole Miss plus 4.5. I think they can win the game. I want to do the money line thing, but the flirtation with Florida or the back channel stuff that might be going on between Lane, his people, and the Florida administration has me a little worried, which is why this wasn't really one of my picks for today, but. In an effort to force myself to find an underdog here on the Lunch Money Show, I'm going to take Ole Miss on the road. Look, playing on the road didn't seem to bother Ole Miss at Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, it's still back-to-back road games now, though.
Back-to-back road games, yeah. But I mean, like the crowd, the environment, it being loud or whatever, that didn't seem to affect Ole Miss offensively at all. They scored touchdowns on their first 5 possessions against Georgia. Now, I know Georgia's defense isn't as good as Oklahoma's, and they're not likely to do that. I can't trust Oklahoma to score. I do trust Ole Miss to score even against Oklahoma. Would they score 40? No. But I'm not betting it yet. I might end up betting it, but I'm gonna pick Ole Miss plus 4.5 there. What does the chat think about that? Am I wrong?
I probably won't bet this one either. I'm taking the home team in this one though. I'm taking Oklahoma, and I'm gonna trust their defense to be, they're not gonna completely shut down Ole Miss offense. Nobody can do that. But if they get a couple turnovers, maybe a pick six or a scoop and score something at home, I think they can win this game. But what is it? 4.5?
4.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely not betting this game. No, but I'm taking Oklahoma to win.
Yeah, somebody in the chat with the Kiffin's family lives in Oxford and likes it there. Every head coach's family lives where they coach. And coaches still move all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
When you're married to a head coach, like you already know. It's like being a military brat. You already know you're likely to be moving every 3 or 4 years. That's the norm. The exception is when you stay somewhere 10 years. That's the exception, not the norm. So
Right.
The whole
Let me
his
ask you
family
this about
likes it
Kiffin.
there thing. I don't buy it.
If and we don't know, we know Napier's gone, so Florida's got a job opening. Let's say that in 3 weeks from now, LSU pulls the trigger and fires Brian Kelly. They're looking for a coach. They call Lane Kiffin too. If you're Lane Kiffin and you've got to choose between Florida and LSU, if you're going to go to one of those two and leave Oxford, which one would you choose?
LSU.
Or which one do you think you would choose?
I would choose LSU.
I would too.
Florida's a mess right now from an administrative standpoint. We've talked about it in the past, but they don't really have a school president. They have an interim president. And because he's interim, there's questions about whether or not he can even fire Scott Strickland. And the Florida fans don't want Scott Strickland, and neither do the boosters, don't want Scott Strickland making the next football hire. But as athletic director, it's his job to make the hire. Now, whether he's forced by a booster to hire or however that goes, whatever. But anyway, it's just a mess internally there at Florida. Plus, with the exception of Brian Kelly, the 3 previous LSU coaches all won natties.
Yeah, I think LSU's a better job.
Yeah.
Right now, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's more stable.
Okay.
They're a better team than Florida too. I mean, you would be inheriting a better situation purely from a football standpoint at LSU than you would at Florida too. So I can't get in Lane Kiffin's head. I don't know whether he has a preference of one or the other. But if I was in Lane Kiffin's position and was offered both, it wouldn't take me but about 5 minutes to decide on LSU over Florida right now.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And boy, wouldn't that be something? That would be another letdown for Florida. He went to one of the rivals. I mean, that's LSU's one of the rivals, right? I mean, boy.
It's going to be a mess because, the Florida State situation, what's going to go on there, Auburn. Now, that would be a step below either LSU or Florida, I think, the Auburn job, because you're just sandwiched between Bama and Georgia at Auburn. So you're just, even under the best of circumstances at Auburn, you're fighting uphill with being sandwiched between 2 of the best 5 programs in football, Georgia and Bama there. But it's likely to come open. It's going to be a mess with the coach. And here's the other thing: we aren't even really we're talking about it with Lane Kiffin, but
yeah,
there could be other sitting coaches who we aren't talking about getting fired, but could leave the job they're at to take an LSU or South Carolina, right? They might not fire Beamer, but Beamer might leave to take the Virginia Tech job. So there's going to be other coaches too. There's going to be other schools that have openings, not because they fired their coach, but because their head coach leaves to take a job somewhere else. It's going to be, last year it was a calm coaching turnover situation. There was only 3 Power 4 coaches that lost their job at the end of last year. There could be double digits. You've already got UCLA, Penn State, and Virginia Tech. Now Florida, that's 4. Florida State and Auburn could be 5 and 6. Wisconsin could be 7.
I on a daily basis, I keep hearing Clemson being thrown in there. I just don't see it. Didn't you say Josh Pate said something about Dabo to Florida?
Dabo to Florida.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's not leaving there. Why would he, first of all? And he's not getting fired. Not this year. So I don't know why his name keeps getting brought up in it. I understand why, but it just I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think
Oklahoma State too.
about.
I forgot about Oklahoma State. That job's open.
Yeah, Gundy.
You're going to have double-digit coach openings, and then if other sitting coaches who aren't fired get hired away, that you could end up with 15 or 20 new head coaches next year, between a combination of people getting fired and coaches leaving to take those other jobs. You could end up with 20 Power 4 changes at the head coach position between this year and next year. That's crazy.
Yeah. And this year, you've got James Franklin that went on game day and said, I'm ready to go somewhere else and coach. He said it outright.
Yeah, because
so
I thought maybe he'd sit in a booth for a year like a lot of these coaches do. You know, Jimbo Fisher's
I'm
done it
going to
for a
hire
couple
him.
of years.
I mean, which
but
one of these teams is going to hire him?
I'm with you. Like when I saw James Franklin on game day, I said, that's a guy that's ready to go to work tomorrow somewhere. Like he wants to be hired.
Yeah, well, he said it. He said, I want to be coaching, and I'm ready to go win a national championship somewhere. So, yeah, the question is, where would that be with all these openings? And will he sit back and wait till the end of the season and see which other jobs are open? I mean, he'll probably have more than one choice, honestly.
Yeah.
He should. Franklin to Oklahoma State. That would be a weird fit to me. I don't know why.
Is somebody going to go after Clark Lee at Vandy?
Yes.
He went to Vandy, so he's, the saying, he's a Vandy guy, that kind of thing. Like,
I
he
don't
went
know
to
if that
Georgia,
matters.
whatever. Matt Rule went to Penn State.
Yeah, I think. Is Vanderbilt willing to shell out $12 million a year for 8 years?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Because that's what he'll be offered if somebody tries to pull him away in today's climate.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to be, what do they call it? The coaching carousel. It's going to be wild. It's going to be absolutely wild when these dominoes start to fall. And then what if we end up with one of these, like, just out of left field scenarios, like when Brian Kelly left Notre Dame to take the LSU job and Riley left Oklahoma to take the Southern Cal job. Like, nobody was talking about firing them. They just up and left on their own. Like, there's no telling what all is going to happen between now and the end of the year with these coaching situations. Shane Beamer to Virginia Tech, especially if they fire him. Don't know why South Carolina would fire him, though. Yeah, I think they'd be crazy to fire him. I really do. But, I mean, he could.
I don't really think he would leave on his own. I think in order for Shane Beamer to be out of Columbia, they're going to have to fire him.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, I don't know what's in his head, but when he says that South Carolina is his dream job, I know every coach says that, but when he says it, I really believe it. So I think they're going to have to fire him.
It seems like you have to be down and in a pretty bad way to even utter those words. South Carolina is my dream job.
Yeah.
God damn, man. Talk about setting a low bar for yourself.
Yeah. But I think it's true, though.
Shout out to the South Carolina fans. I'm half kidding, but yes, that is kind of a funny statement. South Carolina is my dream job. Okay, bud. Well, all right. Well, what else? Anything else in the world of college football? Let me see. I don't think so.
So I picked three favorites, which I normally don't pick three favorites. I picked Pitt minus 6.5, Bama minus 12, and A&M minus 2.5. So I'm going to try to find an underdog here I like. And this is an interesting one here. UCLA and Indiana. Indiana's a 25.5 point favorite in this game. UCLA is on a 3-game winning streak. Is that right?
Yeah. I thought about that one. I almost went that direction.
And so, look, do I think Indiana's better than UCLA? Yes. Do I think they'll win the game? Yes. But 25.5 points is a lot.
Yeah.
From a betting standpoint. So that one's enticing. I don't know if I'm going to bet on it yet. I'm worried the line's going to go down. I think money will go on UCLA with the 25.5. And that line will move. So probably right now would be the best time to bet it if you do bet it. And don't wait till Friday or Saturday to do it. But, I mean, look, UCLA could keep this within 14, 15, 17 21 points, right? I mean, why not?
You're not worried about the travel? That's what scared me off of it.
I mean, they just look like a different team since they fired their coach. I mean, it looks like he was the problem.
Yeah. I saw a clip today from Kurt Cignetti's press conference. He was asked about UCLA, and he said, look, UCLA's 3-0. That's how we're looking at it. So he's saying the right things as far as not overlooking them, going, oh, they're 3-4. They're 3-0 since firing that coach. So they're 3-1 in the Big Ten, Pete.
Wow.
And for second or whatever it is in the Big Ten.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now their schedule, I looked at this when I was taking notes for the Your Season Is Over video to see like what chances they have. So at Indiana, home against Nebraska, at Ohio State, home against Washington, at Southern Cal. Now, they could lose all of those. Nebraska, maybe they can pull off at home. I'm not picking them against Ohio State or Southern Cal not to win the game. Maybe Southern Cal, rivalry situation, especially if Southern Cal is sitting on 3 losses already and has sort of played themselves out of everything right now. They're 5-2. They just lost to Notre Dame, Southern Cal. But maybe if Southern Cal doesn't have anything to play for, UCLA could get the win there. But, yeah, I don't know. Also, I think they snuck up on people. With the change to offensive coordinator and all that, they changed up their entire offense. They snuck up on the first couple of teams they played. The more they play now, the more tape is out there on what they're doing. This is what worries me, and we're skipping ahead now to next Monday's show, but Georgia and Florida are both off this week. Clemson's off too, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Georgia's going to be the first team to play Florida post Billy Napier, and Billy Napier was the play caller there. So you've got no idea. If you're Georgia, you've got no idea really what you're walking into in that That's Florida game. And when teams fire their coach, it typically goes one of 2 ways: the UCLA way, where it completely sort of galvanizes the team and they look totally different, like you mentioned, and come out and start winning some games. Or Penn State, where they just roll over and die and can't even beat anybody now. I'm more nervous to play Florida post Billy Napier than I would have been if Napier was still there. I'll tell you that. I mean, I think Georgia should win that game. They'll be favored by 13 or 14 probably, would be my guess. And they should win the game. But I'm more nervous about playing them post Billy Napier than I would have been if they kept him. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're going to go the Penn State route and roll over. I do.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I don't want to deal with the comment section if Georgia goes down there and loses to Florida. So
that will be something there.
Yeah, I certainly hope you're right. All right, there you go. Week 9 college football picture to go wrong. Do what you will with that information. It's not betting advice. We just tell you the stupid shit we do. If you choose to do it, that's on you. Shout out to Sleeper. They are sponsoring the Lunch Money Show this season. I missed my Sleeper pick by like 20 yards. I had Ty Simpson over 280 passing yards. He had like 250 entering the fourth quarter and didn't hit it. I hit both the other picks, so that Ty Simpson cost me. I mean, he had a good game. He just came up a little short on the total yardage for my Sleeper pick, so I lost again, but they still have the deposit promo going. So if you click the link in the description, download the Sleeper app and use promo code LOU, L-O-U, and you make your first deposit, they're going to match it dollar for dollar up to $100. But they have another promotion that's running now too. And I think technically you can even do this maybe if you already had an account. You just need a different email address, although I didn't tell you that. If you download the app and create a new account, so you would need a new email address to do that. If you download the app and create a new account, promo code Lou, they're just going to give you a free $20 play. So you don't even have to make a deposit. They'll just $20 will show up in your account courtesy of Uncle Lou and Pete. So if you haven't downloaded the app yet, download it. Promo code LOU. The link is in the description. Just click that link. Use the promo code LOU. Create a new account, and you get a free $20 play for this weekend's games. It does make watching the games more interesting and more exciting, and you might win yourself some money. You can stack picks up in there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks in a play, whatever you want to do, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the Lunch Money Show this week. You have any luck on it this weekend?
No, I actually had the worst week on Sleeper. Every week I'm like, if I do a 3 or 4 pick, I always miss it by 1 pick. This week I was over. Every single pick I made was wrong.
Damn.
So it's a good thing I won money, just betting on college football spreads and whatnot, because my sleeper picks this week were absolute garbage. But I am still fishing, and I'm still confident that I'm gonna hit one of these days. It's gonna be a big one too. I'll let you guys know when I do it.
Yeah, I think I've only hit 2. But the good thing is they're all parlays. So like I do small amounts of money, $10 or $20 at the most. But like I had a $20 play this past weekend, and like if I would have hit it, it paid like $107 or something. So by that math, that tells you only need to hit 1 out of 5 of those to break even. If you hit 2 out of 5, you're ahead. So it does make it a lot of fun. So check out the Sleeper app. I'm in Georgia. Pete's in South Carolina. It's legal in both of those states. It's legal in over 30 other states, and it does make watching the games a lot more interesting. So be sure to download the Sleeper app and hopefully beat them over your head and win yourself some money. Pete, what you got going on the rest of the week?
ACC show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. with me and C-Dog and sometimes Rec Talk. And also sometimes Slim Shady Canes, a bunch of ACC guys on there just shooting the shit, talking about ACC football. That should be a fun one this week with Miami losing last week to Louisville. Call-in show every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. And then I'll be streaming some games this weekend. I don't know exactly which time slot I'll be streaming this weekend, but I do game streams every weekend. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I don't know my schedule for Saturday yet either, but I do have the call-in show coming up Tuesday night and Thursday night at 9 p.m., so y'all tune into that right here on this channel. Give me a call. We'll talk some college football, and by the time I go on tomorrow night at 9 for the call-in show, I will know the streaming schedule for Saturday. But I haven't put the poll up yet on Patreon. I'm just actually, now that I'm sitting here, just remembering I forgot to do that today. So I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning, put the poll up on Patreon. By the way, shout out to RC Cola and Fuzz Worthington. They are the first 2 winners over on the Patreon page. You know, I'm giving away $1,000 over there, $250 4 times, once a week for 4 weeks in a row. So 2 weeks ago was the first one. RC Cola was the winner. This past Saturday, Fuzz Worthington walked away $250 richer, and we'll do it again next Saturday. So keep that in mind for all you Patreon people out there. We've got another $250 giveaway coming up on Saturday. But that's going to do it for the Lunch Money Show, Week 9. I hope we all make some money. Fuck the bookie. Nobody likes the bookie. Fuck the bookie. Let's all make some money betting on college football this weekend. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back next Monday to do it all over again. But until then, though, have a good morning.